Welcome friends. In this video we are going to look at mathematics paper 1 for the year 2023, and this is just a continuation, and we are starting from question 21. Write 3 inequalities that define the unshaded region R in the diagram below. So we'll say this is our first inequality, second inequality, third inequality. Now, it is advisable you start with the one that cuts one axis only. For example, if you look at inequality number 1, it cuts the y-axis at 1. So this is the one that we are going to begin with. So say, first one, so in which axis is this line cutting? So that's why you write letter y. Then at what number? So this is 1 here. So we put 1. So after you are done with this one, you need to identify the region which is greater and the one which is lower. So the above is always greater. Then here, this is less. The unshaded region is the region that represents the unwanted. So what we want is greater. We use greater than or equal to 1. Then we move on to inequality number 2. Now for inequality number 2, it is cutting at 2 axes. The first one at y is equal to 6. Then the second one, x is equal to 1. So here we need to find the pair of coordinates. So we'll begin with this one. So this is 0, 6. Then the other one is 6, 0. So what are we supposed to do after finding the coordinates? We are going to find the slope. And the slope is given by the change in y divided by the change in x. So let us write the formula. Gradient is given by y2 minus y1 over x2 x1. Gradient is equal to, so say x1 y1 x2 y2. So the y1, the y2 is 0, the y1 is 6, over the x2 is 6 minus 0. 6 subtracted from 0 is negative 6, over 6 minus 0 is just 6. So the gradient is just negative 1. Now after we are done with finding the gradient, we are going to write the formula for the straight line. The equation for the straight line, which is y minus y1 is equal to gradient x minus x1. So from the 2 pairs of coordinates here, the first one, the y1 is 6, is equal to, the gradient is negative 1, x minus x1 is 0. We can now expand the right side of our equation. So negative 1 times x is negative x plus 0. Then let us collect the like terms. So for us to collect the like terms, this number will shift to the right side, giving us y is equal to negative x plus 0 plus 6, which is our final answer, is negative x plus 6. Then after we are done finding the equation of the straight line, we need to make it an inequality by replacing the equal sign with the inequality that we think will suit the given equation. So let's look at inequality number 2. So the above is greater, and we can see that the greater is shaded, then the less is not shaded. So the region that we want is less. So say y less than or equal to negative x plus 6. This is our final answer. Or if we want, we can shift this x to this side. This will be x y plus x less than or equal to 6. Okay, after we are done, we can now move on to our third inequality. So the third inequality is this one. We'll take the coordinates from here. So from here it's 0, 0, x1 y1. Then at this point is 2, 4, x2 y2. So for us to find the slope, it's y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So it's the change in y. So the y has changed from 0 to 4. So we need to find the difference between those two numbers. So it's 4 minus 0. Then the x has changed from 0 to 4. 0 to 2, which is 2. This should be, yes, 2 minus 0, which is our gradient is equal to 4 minus 0 is just 4 over 2. Then if we divide, this will just give us 2. So the gradient, according to the data here, is that the gradient of this equation is just 2. Then after we are done, we write the equation of the straight line formula. So do the substitution. So y1, we can use 0, 0 or 2, 4. The answer will be the same. So we put 0 here, even 0 here. We can now expand. So y minus 0 is just y. 2 times x will give us 2x. 2 times negative 0 is just negative 0, which is y is equal to x. So this is the equation. Now we need to change it into inequality. The above is greater, then here we have less. Now for this one, the line was in dotted, so we're not going to add an equal sign. So this one will just be y less than 2x as our final answer. We move on to question 22a. Integrate 3x squared minus 5x plus 9 over x cube. So we find the integration. So the integration is just the opposite of differential calculus. So what are we going to do? So we'll just say y is equal to, now for integration, we are going to, okay, before we integrate, first let's move our x variable from the bottom to the top. You can't integrate whenever it is there, so we need to take it to the bottom. So we have 3x squared minus 5x plus 9x raised to the power 3, which is so we are differentiating this one with respect to x. So whenever we are differentiating, we replace with y. Then what are we going to do? Since the power, if you are differentiating, the power is subtracted by 1, but for integration you add 1. So it's going to be 3x squared plus 1 over 2 plus 1. Then this is 5x raised to the power 1, which is 5x 1 plus 1 over 1 plus 1. Then we'll do the same, 9x raised to the power negative 3 plus 1 over negative 3 plus 1, then plus the constant. So y is equal to, here it's 3 over 3 times x raised to the power 3 minus 5 over 2 times x raised to the power 2. Here we are going to have, it's 9 over negative 2 raised to the power x minus 2 plus c. Then we can't leave our final answer whenever the power is negative, so we have to take it back to the bottom. So we can cancel this, giving us x raised to the power 3 negative 5 over 2 x squared. Then we can multiply negative times positive, will give us negative 9 over 2. Then if we take our x back to the bottom, this will change to 2x raised to the power positive 2 plus c. So this is the first integral of the given differentiated equation. Now we go back to question B. The diagram shows the graph of the function y is equal to x squared plus 2x minus c 15. So this is a quadratic function. the curve cuts the x-axis at A and B and the y-axis at C. So let's see the first question. So the first question is find the coordinates of B and C. Now we'll begin with B. B is the x-intercept. Since it is the point where the curve is cutting the x-axis, then our C is the y-intercept. So now how do you find the x-intercept? You need to solve the given quadratic equation by replacing y with 0. So let's do that. So we have x squared plus 2x minus 15 is equal to 0. So we know that here we have A, B, C. So you can use the method of your choice or the method that you think you are comfortable with. You can use the quadratic formula or maybe the factorization, so it depends. So let's use the quadratic formula. So x is equal to minus plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Then x is equal to minus, what's our b? 2 plus or minus, here it's 2 squared minus, what's our a? A is the coefficient of x squared, which is 1. Then our c is negative 15. Everything divided by 2 times 1. We have x is equal to negative 2 plus or minus, here 2 times 2 is 4. Negative times negative is positive. 15 times 4 is 60 divided by 2. So let's find the sum of 4 and 60. So we know 60 plus 4 is 64 divided by 2. We can now find the square root of 64, which is 8 over 2. Okay, so let's say now x is equal to minus 2. So we need to split into 2 equations. So negative 2 plus 8 over 2, or negative 2 minus negative 8 over 2. So x is equal to negative 2 plus 8 is positive 6 over 2, which is x is equal to negative 3. Then for this one will be negative 10 over 2, which is negative 5. So we have the first one can be, and this should be positive. So this should be positive 3. So one will be 3, 0. Then the other one negative 5, 0. And this is making sense because A is located on the negative part of the x-axis, then B on the positive. So for A, even if we are not told, A is just negative 5, 0. Then B is 3, 0. So we found for B. Now let's find for C. Now for the y-intercept is simple. You just have to write the equation. Y is equal to x squared, then plus, what's our equation? Plus 2x. Plus 2x minus 15. So y is equal to, now this time where there is x is why you put 0. Which is 0 times 0 is 0, 2 times 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, minus 15 is negative 15, which is C is 0, negative 15. Since under the y-axis, it's 0, the particular number. So to summarize for y-intercept, if you look at the equation here, if you are told to find the y-intercept, you just have to write 0, you just have to get the number, which is negative 15. Even if you don't solve, because you know that whenever we replace x with 0, this will be removed. Okay, so now maybe let's say we want to use factorization method for those that may want that method. So the equation is x squared plus 2x minus 15 is equal to 0. Factorization, we need to find the product, and it's found by a times c. So the value of a is 1, the value of c is negative 15. 1 times negative 15 will just give us negative 15. Then we need to find the value of sum. So sum is just the value of b, which is positive 2. So we need to find two numbers that we can multiply to give us negative 15 and add to give us positive 2. So these are known as the factors. Now for those that may have challenges in finding the factors, let me see if I can show you. So the first one, we need to find the numbers that can go into 15. So we are going to find all the numbers that can go into 15. So the first one is 1. 1 into negative 15 is negative 15. Then the second one is 2. 2 can't go, so it's 3. 3 into negative 15 is negative 5. And okay, so these are just the two numbers, the numbers that we can use. The next one will be 5. 5 into negative 15 is, so here the next one is 5 into negative 15 is negative 3. So we need to check. Let's try the first one. So 1 times negative 15 is negative 15. We are able to get the product. Then 1 plus minus 5 is giving us negative 14. So we can't get the sum. The sum must be 2. Let's try these two. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Then 3 plus negative 5 will give us negative 2. Okay, let's try these two. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. Then 5 plus negative 3 is positive 2. So we can get this. So the two factors are 5, negative 3. So let's now continue. X squared minus 3x plus 5x minus 15 is equal to 0. So the common factor here is x. X into x squared is x minus x into 3x is just 3. Plus here the common factor is 5. 5 into 5x is x. Minus 5 into 15 is 3 is equal to 0. So you can see that these two are the same. So we take one of these. So x minus 3. Then this one must form a bracket, which is x plus 5 must be equal to 0. Then we equate each factor equals to 0. So which is 0 minus, if we shift this should be plus 3, which is our x is equal to positive 3. Then here will be x is equal to 0 minus 5, which is x is equal to minus 5, which is we are able to get the same value. So this is what we can say for this video. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.